Welcome to the show, where it's our vision to embed a passion for lifelong learning through nurturing aspirations in engaging ways that inspires learners to become self-confident, open-minded, creative thinkers who make a really positive impact in the world they live. Studies show that exam results improved by 6% using active learning strategies in comparison to more traditional teaching approaches. Today I'm going to talk about active learning and give you some brief overview ideas as to how you can incorporate active learning strategies into your lesson to make sure that your lessons are more engaging and more purposeful. To start with, make sure you start your lesson with an activate. Perhaps you're an art teacher and you have designs, different art designs all around the room, and you just get the children to walk straight in and go to different tables, think about and explore different ideas about what those artistic pieces might mean. Perhaps you can get them to collaborate, have brief discussions with different peers around the classroom about what those things might mean or what they might represent. If you're a French or Spanish teacher, perhaps you're teaching greetings. Why not just get the children to walk straight into the classroom and introduce themselves in the target language to 10 or 20 different people? And then you can start to unravel the learning objective a little bit and talk about, what do you think the learning objective is about? And this really encourages that self-improvement, that self-reflection amongst children, and really gets them to be independent about their learning. Perhaps you're a physical education teacher and you just get them to do 100 touches of the ball or 100 frozen catches with the tennis ball or the cricket ball or whatever it might be before the learning starts. Really encouraging that physical dominance of the lesson and get the children engaged straight away without hesitation. And then you can start to discuss with them what they think the learning objective might be and what they think the next steps would be for them to improve. The second thing to think about in active learning strategies is, can you prepare your transitions in advance? If you're a PE teacher, make sure all the balls are on the outside of the cones, ready to go. So when you transfer from the activate to the acquire stage of your lesson, all of the equipment is ready there and children can move swiftly from one learning phase to the next. Same with music, have your instruments round, set on markers in set spaces so that children can transition very, very quickly. Also, when preparing transitions, think about using markers. Saying things like go and stand over there is not giving clear and unambiguous direction. You want to have markers just to give you simple points of reference that children can move to so that you have unambiguous and clear direction. Go and stand by the yellow cone in the corner is a much more accurate example and will make sure that the children have much clearer and more quicker understanding of what you mean so that you can focus on the learning at hand. If there is downtime in your lessons, like perhaps you're handing out worksheets and you've got 3 or 4 pupils handing those out for you, perhaps you might just get the children to talk to the person next to them about a deep and insightful learning question that is all about the learning objective at hand. That way, they're actively and mentally engaged in the learning acquisition all the way through the lesson. Optimize that learning time. The fourth thing to think about is keep them moving. Children love to move, so if you're asking key questions, perhaps you've got a arithmetic test or something like that, just that simple act of getting the children to tuck their chairs in and stand up changes the mental requirement, changes the physiology of that pupil, and changes the amount of energy and effort that they put into the learning. So just think about that. If you're doing French or Spanish and you're getting the children to talk to each other by sitting down, think about the impact that it might have if you just get them to stand up and talk to different people around the room. It just inspires children a little bit more and encourages more active and engaged and infused learning. The final thing to think about is, once you've delivered that really active and engaging and inspiring lesson, calm them right down. A really effective way to do that is through simple meditation activity. Get them to sit or lie down and just think about, close their eyes, 20, 30 seconds. Think about the learning journey. Think about 3 things that you've learned today. Think about 3 ways that you can improve for next week. Think about 3 key phrases that I've taught you this morning. Something like that to really get them to think, and then you can get them to think, peer, share, so they can peer with a partner, talk about what they've learned, and they can bounce ideas off each other and get in that reflective practice and that really positive environment in your classroom. Finally, you can ask key questions to key pupils and encourage them to share with the class so that everybody is always thinking about the learning. And what that does, it just makes sure that at the end of the lesson, the children are calm. Yes, they're inspired. Yes, they've been really active and excited, but at the end, they're really calm and reflective about the learning journey. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you know somebody that might benefit from watching it, please be sure to share this video with a friend. If there's something that you would like us to cover in our show, please drop a comment in the comments box below. We'd love to hear from you. Have a fantastic week.